So do you have any plumbing projects coming up where you want to use some PEX plumbing to complete them? Well, in this video today, I'm going to show you how to use Pex A type plumbing pipe. I'm Shannon from houseimprovements.com. We have tons of other videos on plumbing and just about any other DIY project you can think of, so go check my channel out when you get a chance. Pex A piping, basically there's two different kinds, Pex A, Pex B. We're talking about Pex A today. So Pex A uses an expansion ring to hold the plumbing onto any fittings. You need a tool to expand it and get it big enough to slide onto the fitting, and then the memory of the pipe itself basically shrinks back down because it's trying to get to its original size, and that just holds the pressure on your fitting basically forever. So it's a very nice system to use. I use this system all the time. The pipe's pretty flexible, you know, to a point. If you get a kink in it, something like that, you can use a heat gun to get that kink out and fix it. I've got a video on that, so you can go check that out individually. Simple tool for the cutting. Any PEX pipe you can cut with these, and this is the type of tool you should use, not a aviation snip or a knife or something like that. So it's just kind of basically a guillotine, and it makes nice, clean, sharp cuts and square. Okay, so you're going to need that. The bits and pieces that we have is we have fittings. So this is an elbow. You can get T's, butt joints, plugs. Like in this case, where we joined PEX to copper, there's a nipple in there that you can get that you solder onto copper. So you've got all your fittings. Then you've got your pipe, and you've got these compression rings. So basically what happens is you stick your compression ring onto the pipe, get it nice and flush. You've made sure that your pipe is cut square to start with. And then you can use one of the many tools there is to do it, but they all kind of do the same thing. I'm going to use the power expander just because it's easier to operate with one hand to do this video. So you're going to insert the tool into the pipe, and you can see it doesn't quite go in all the way at first because this needs to get to there eventually. But what's going to happen is as I cycle this tool, expands the pipe, the tool will go in a little bit further, expands it again further, until you get right up to that shoulder there. You generally want to expand your pipe 4 to 5 times. Will usually do the trick. One thing to consider is when you're expanding the pipe, a tool like this and a tool like this, when they pump, this head rotates. I don't know which way this one does. I think it goes this way. And that's pretty key. You want that head to rotate on every expansion so you don't get machine marks inside the pipe that can cause leaks. This older style tool, this one was made by Wurzbo. This is the original tool I ever had. It still expands, but the head doesn't turn on its own. With this one, you have to actually manually remember to make a little bit of an incremental turn every time. These two tools here did away with that, and they automatically will rotate a little bit every time, so you don't have to think about that anymore. So going back to the handheld electric, I'm going to make a joint onto this elbow, and you're going to see just how easy it is. Stick the fitting on till there's little ears on there, right there. You need the fitting to get right up, or the ring to get right up to the shoulder there. Okay, now that's on there. That's not coming off. Like I said, this pipe is continually, and the ring continually trying to contract to get back to its original size. Okay, so it's really easy system. Like I said, I do like the power tool just because it's more of a one-handed setup, where with this you know, either of those other tools, you need to have kind of the pipe up there somewhere where you can have it hanging so you can get your hand on the tool and use both hands. So I like this just for that fact. But that being said, there's a range of, you know, like from a couple $100 for those handheld units to like $600 for this. So for the average DIYer, this is probably out of your price range for just doing a project now and again. And the other ones work great. You just need to have both hands available to use them. Okay, so we talked about the pipe. I showed you how to put it on there. These fittings here, this one's, I don't know what these really are. They're probably not plastic, but they're some type of plastic. And you can get just solid brass ones too. So you got two different styles there. We've got the crimp rings. In my area, I can find the colored rings, which is handy because I like to use this kind of white or clear pipe all the time. But I can put the colored rings on my lines to designate at a glance what's hot or cold. Not everywhere has these, and these are getting a little tougher to find, I think. But you can also have just the white rings, which a lot of people seem to be able to find. I think you can get Pex A in colored pipe, red and blue, and this white, but I just always buy it in this white color, and I use the colored rings if I need to. So that's that. The other thing you're going to have, you really shouldn't use a metal strap or anything on this, so when you need to staple this or attach it to some blocking or whatever, you've got these little clips that clip on. You can nail the stud home, the nail home I mean. So you've got those. You've got these which help support bends. So if you need to make a 90-degree bend basically, you can put that in there, and it just helps keep the pipe from kinking for one thing, and holds it in place, and you can actually mount it with a screw if need be. So you've got those. What else can I tell you? Something else you can use with any Pex is these push fit fittings. So with the push fits, you want your pipe to go in a specific distance depending on the size of the pipe. So there's a handy little tool you can use that marks that. Get your mark on your pipe so you know how far that pipe's got to go in. Push fit fitting, give it a little wiggle, push it in. There's my mark, I think you can see it there. And again, you got a connection there. Okay, so you could use push fits for your connections, or you can use the compression rings for your connections. So really the only disadvantage I see for Pex A is when you're working in a cold climate, you kind of want to have this stuff somewhat warm. I mean, you can imagine trying to expand this stuff at 30 below, what's going to happen. I just don't trust that. So they say you can do it, but I wouldn't. So you kind of need to be, have your stuff somewhere warm, or have a hot box or something that you can keep it in if you're working in an unheated space. Okay. Once it's all connected and everything, this stuff's great as far as freezability and stuff, because the Pex pipes, they will expand. They've got a lot of give to them. This will not break in a freezing situation. This will break. This copper will split open like a hot dog bun. That's not going to stand up in a freeze. This will freeze thaw many times without any issues, because it can stretch. As you've seen, we stretched it to fit down here, right? You very seldom will see this Pex pipe fail in a freeze situation. So I think that's the main stuff I can talk about. I know I covered a lot of things and I'm kind of jumping around, but I think I've got all the information there that you need. So again, this was Pex A, not Pex B. So Pex A pipe. And yeah, go check out my other videos. Smash that like button down there. Yep, that's the thumbs up button. Subscribe like I mentioned before, and go check out our stuff on our channel.